Quick, which one is the E-Class? Which one is the S-Class? Trick question. They're both the same glass plastic slab. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new 2027 S-Class, the redesign. And although people are pretty much hating on it online, which we all know why they're hating on it, you guys just saw why, I like it. I like the new redesign. I think it's beautiful, and we're going to get into it. Let's go. Before we talk about the 2027 redesign, we're first going to do a bit of a history lesson on the S-Class. And we're going to start off with the official S-Class, which is when we first saw the marketing term S-Class to market the car. And this was back in 1972. This is technically the first generation S-Class. And I didn't know this, but S-Class stands for Sonderklasse. Sounds dramatic. Which translates to special class, which is, a special class vehicle for special individuals who hold special positions that get invited to special parties on special islands. All right. So this is the one that's considered the godfather of the S-Class. Then moving on to the second generation, which debuted in 1979 all the way until 1991, it was the Diplomat. So the vibe was kind of like 80s Wall Street wealth, dictators and diplomats loved being driven in these cars. And the designers kind of moved away from the chrome bumpers, and they integrated these plastic bumpers to reduce drag and making it more aerodynamic. It also introduced airbags. I think it was and seatbelt pretensioners. I don't even know what that means, so we're going to skip it. But it was, I think, one of the first cars to introduce driver's airbags, if I'm not mistaken. And it had the longest production run, about 12 years. Then, moving on to the third generation, which is my favorite generation, in terms of looks, especially if you modify them beautifully and tastefully, they are such beautiful cars. The W140, the third generation. And it was the first generation which became excessive and massive, and it was controversial. And I think Mercedes at the time even invested $1 billion into designing this car. What made this one special, of course, was the look. It looked mean, it looked gangster, especially if you had tinted windows on it. You didn't know if it was a diplomat, a Russian oligarch, a gangster, a mobster. You didn't know. It had that presence, that car. What made this one special, though, of course, also was that, but it had the double pane glass, so it was very quiet. It was very, you couldn't hear the peasants complaining outside. Soft closed doors, and it was the first V12. They had introduced a V12 with this car, which, if you look at the videos, they sound fantastic. My least favorite generation is the W220, which is from 98 to 2005. And they made it more sleek and curvy. And I like the look, but the front, you kind of lose me in the front. But still a beautiful car, especially if it's specced out properly. It looks good. What made it special, I think it was the first S-Class with standard air suspension, replacing the steel springs. And it made that magic carpet ride, as they say. Had radar cruise control, keyless go. Moving on to the next one, the fifth generation, the W221, 2005 to 2013. And this is that generation where it I feel like took cues from the older generations. Instead of remaining that sleek and stylish look, it went back to like a more muscular, modern look. The arches and over the wheels, they were big and they were bold. And I would say this is my second favorite generation. It's a classic. It is a classic design of the S-Class. It looked beautiful on the road. It looked beautiful. It looked fantastic. Great big saloon. I love saloons, by the way. So what made this one special was night view assist. It had an infrared camera in the windshield. Wow. Blind spot and lane keep assist. So, the late 2000s and early 2010s, this one introduced blind spot assist. Then moving on to the W222, which is my third favorite S-Class generation, but I would argue it is the best S-Class generation. So I prioritize the looks of a car a lot. And in terms of looks, for me, it's third best. But it's in my opinion, the best S-Class so far. Maybe the 2027 is going to dethrone it. We'll see. But why I think it's the best, and this is the one where I've seen the most in action, and what it is. First of all, the interior was, in my opinion, immaculate, especially on the coupes. It just felt like a spaceship. It was beautiful, the interior, with the diamond quilted seats, and you could spec it in so many different ways. It was amazing. It was a great S-Class, the best S-Class generation, in my opinion. It had just the right amount of tech. It wasn't over techy, and it still had that real, that was the peak of luxury feel in the S-Class, in my opinion. You had massaging seats, you had ambient lighting, you had, you name it, a perfume dispenser. This car was stacked, and it had introduced the digital gauge cluster. So my third favorite, but also in my opinion the best generation. Moving on to the latest generation, and this is, I would say, my least favorite S-Class, and essentially because I feel like it's the forgotten generation. I feel like it felt like they redesigned it just to redesign it. I feel like it lost a bit of its character, lost a bit of its soul, the S-Class. What made a S-Class special, it's been described as a rolling smartphone. There were no more physical buttons. You still had the luxury, it was still comfortable, but it kind of lost that little bit of edge. Everything became digital, and it even, like, the heads-up display and everything. So that's it. That's the generations of S-Class. Getting into this latest generation to come, 2027 S-Class. So the new 2027 S-Class, in my opinion, is, I think, beautiful. I think they did a fantastic job. The grille is big and bold, and the whole point of the S-Class is to be big and bold. It's to make you feel special on the road, right? It looks immaculate, in my opinion. The exterior, they kind of went back to that S-Class, kind of looking mean, looking like, ooh, who's driving the S-Class? You know what I mean? Like, every time I saw the 2020 S-Class generation on the road, I thought, like, oh, it's probably some, like, corporate baddie, right, as they say, driving the car. It never had that essence, that gangster feel, the masculine feel. And I feel like with the 2027, they brought it back. I love the 20% bigger, large grille with the silver star. I really like what they did. You could tell they put a lot of thought into this new S-Class generation. Just the grille, the pattern of the grille is the silver star repeated, which is amazing. I think it's done very nicely. What do I think about the illuminated grille? The illuminated grille, I don't really care. I think it's cool. I think it's going to annoy people on the road. Now the illuminated silver star, I think it's cool. I don't think it should be standard. I think it should be optional. Personally, I wouldn't like it. Even the illuminated grille, I think it should be optional. It shouldn't be standard, because I really wouldn't like my massive grille illuminated. And some people like a little more stealthy look of cars. The headlights, I feel like they took a cue out of Volvo. I feel like they stole this from Volvo. Let me explain. The newer Volvos had the Thor's hammer headlights. So, because what is it? Norwegian? I forgot the country where it's from. Anyways, so Volvo was like a Northern European company, and with the Celtic lore and everything, the headlights were essentially Thor's hammer. They were called, which was nice. I thought it was really cool on the new Volvos. And where I think Mercedes stole a page out of their book is they kind of did the same thing. They kind of went into their heritage and designed the headlight from their heritage. I think it looks sick as hell. I think it looks really nice. And they even brought it a step further. They integrated the silver star in the rear headlights as well. And what I think, because they changed like 2,700 things about this car, what I think that they did really tastefully as well is also If you look at the rear tail lights, it's like one housing unit. It's not like I feel like a lot of modern cars, what they do is they, because of the LEDs, they like do all these weird like little patterns in the rear lights and stuff. And I feel like if a rear light broke, it would be super complicated to replace. We're supposed to like it's just like one little big piece. And I'm glad, because every auto manufacturer was doing it, was getting annoying, right? Everyone was adding the LED light bar in the back that went across. I mean, it's not creative at all. It's nice to see the S-Class, what they did with the taillights. They kept it, in my opinion, tasteful. So that's it on the exterior. I mean, the door handles, they have the new like Tesla style handles. That's pretty standard. I think they had it on the 2020 as well. That's it on the exterior. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the interior and the tech. The interior and the tech. Look, let's leave the interior last, okay? The tech. So the airmatic suspension is communicating with like what is it, Mercedes-Benz Drive, and it communicates with other S classes, and it scans the road for potholes. Like what are we doing here? We're like, come on, like what's happening? Like why we gotta connect everything through the cloud now? What's up with this fucking cloud shit all the time? I can't stand it. Like everything has to be. You can't do anything. You can't play a video game. You can't drive a car anymore. You can't even take an order at a coffee place without even having to connect to some kind of cloud or your account, or like it's become so over the top. It's become like a cartoon. Like it's ridiculous. That's my complaint about that. But I'm a bit of an old man in that I like a classic feel where my car isn't communicating in German to the authorities. So that's that. And another thing, like it has all the basic stuff like heated, ventilated seats, all that. But they added heated front seat belts. Oh, what's next? What's heated armrest? What's going on here? What's next? Heated sunglasses holder, heated like I don't know what else can you heat, like heated headrest. Like what's next in heated? Like it's enough. Heated seats is nice, rear than your back. Like okay, but I feel like they don't know what to add anymore in cars. The screens. It's like as if they just went to Best Buy and they did this and they put it together, and this is the dash now. The dash is 90% screen. 90%. Preposterous. This is preposterous. Like it's insane. It's insane. It's so ugly and wrong, and I hate it. I absolutely despise the giant screens, and I think this is the main complaint for people. You know what I mean? I think they like the exterior. But this interior, man, this interior is so trash. It's just monitors, and it's like, oh, come on, like it's so cheaply. It looks cheap. This is gonna be. I live in Canada. It's gonna be what, $180,000 car. Like in the States, it's a six-figure car, right? I think that's despicable, in my opinion. Now, here's the thing: screens in cars are here to stay. As much as I hate saying this, they're here to stay. But I think it's going to evolve. I think what's going to end up happening, if they're going to be like, okay, you want us to bring back on analog, true luxury is going to become being able to spec your S-Class without any screens. I think Mercedes and other luxury auto manufacturers are going to find this little, not loophole, but this little niche of people that don't just want screens in their six-figure car, and they're gonna option. You're gonna be able to option actual gauge clusters, actual buttons, an actual dash. And I think they should do that. I think that's what should happen. I think they should keep the screens, because there are some people. I've seen some people, they love the screens. They love that everything is a monitor and they can touch and blah blah blah. Some people love that. So it's here to stay, and plus with a lot of tech features you need to. But I think if they really wanted, because the whole point of luxury nowadays, like comfort, you can find comfort. Anybody can be comfortable nowadays. You know what I mean? True luxury, in my opinion, is choice and customization. I think that's where the future is heading for luxury. The more something is going to be customizable, the more luxurious it'll be. Exactly to how you like it. And I've had enough of the screens. I think even Audi came out and they spoke about how they're backtracking. They're bringing back like physical buttons and stuff, because people complained about them so much. That's it on the screens. And I think I kept the best for last as well. Flat crank V8, insane. Flat crank V8s are lighter and have sharper throttle response, and they have high RPM performance. So I guarantee you, in a few years after depreciation hits the S-Class, some guy named Carlos is gonna bite you, is gonna slap on like some crazy Borla exhaust on this thing, and it's gonna sound completely insane. Why I think they did this? I think this is clever that they did this. The reason why they did this is because these engines are usually lighter, and I know with the new S-Class, I think there was already hybrid versions with the 2020 generation, but the 2027 generation, they're gonna offer plug-in hybrids. And as we saw with the M5s, the new M5 that came out, plug-in hybrids are really heavy cars, really heavy. And I think they did this, the flat plane V8 for the S-Class, is to make it somewhat lighter. Is it going to make a very big difference? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But I think it's really cool that they threw in a flat plane V8 on a luxury saloon. Is completely insane. All in all, to say, to finalize this video, I think this generation is going to become iconic, and we don't even know it. If it weren't for the screens, I think it would be nearly perfect. They really nailed it on the design and with the flat plane V8, and it's a beautiful generation of an S-Class. But those screens, yeah. So that's my opinion. I think they did a great job. That's it. If you guys like this, like, comment, subscribe.